Good morning, students. Today the class is going to be on social community. Okay. The word community, this is a very important topic because you will be dealing with society and also you will be dealing with community. So, what does the word community mean? Community means it's a Latin word. Those days, people used to speak in Latin, and cum and munus are the two words which form community. Cum means together, munus means to serve. So, when you serve the community or when you come together to serve, it's called community. Okay, so what is a community? Community is a group of people. Okay, you can also say it's an organization of human beings. Okay, and why are they together? They are there to serve together. So community, the definition can be: community is a collection of interdependent people with residential ties to a particular locality. That means a group of people who live in a particular area. They are interdependent on each other. That means one person is dependent on other person. So for example, in your own house, near your house, do you have friends? So if you have friends, what do? You depend on each other for studies, for playing, or for your leisure activities, or to go shopping together. So anybody in your locality who you depend on to do particular activities, that is called community. So here the important aspect is the community lives in a particular area. It's a geographical location. Okay, so geographical location means one particular area, and all the people living in that particular area together form the community. So community is very important because people have been living in communities right from the early ages. Right from the beginning of humanity, man has been living in a community. We saw in the last chapter that man is a social animal. So just like being in a society, they live in a community. Society is a large word. It comprises of many communities together. Okay, so let us see what is the major two types of communities. One is the rural community, the other one is the urban community. Okay, rural means village, urban means city. So people are living in villages and cities. People who live in villages are of the rural community. People who live in cities are of the urban community. Okay, so let us see what these groups of people are. So here we see that the rural and urban communities are two really common areas where people live all over the world. If you see, the people live either in the village or in the city. So do you know where Chennai stops or finishes? No, when you come from Vellore to Chennai, you know that suddenly Chennai starts, but you can say Chennai starts in Pundamalli. You can also say sometimes Chennai starts in Sriperumbudur. You can say Chennai does not start till the city, real city, the inside part where traffic is very heavy. That place is city. But that is what it means. You don't know where it starts, where it ends. So a city is like a large area. So people do not know where it starts and where it ends. Same thing about the village. Village also, there may be one house very far from the village, but that house may be part of that same village. So you don't know where the city or village starts. There is no geographical demarcation, okay, to tell where the city starts and where it ends. People who live in city and village have different kinds of lifestyle. You are living in Vellore. If you go to your native villages, if any of you are from villages, do you live the same kind of life there? No, it will be different. Here in the city, you go by buses, there are autos, but in a small village, everybody walks or they go by cycle. So that is the difference between a village life and a city life, or rural life and urban life. At the same time, there is one more aspect, that is, in any village, the urban community has its influence. Now the influence is more because you have TV, so every house will know how a city is and what people in the city are doing. Whereas 100 years back, people in villages were cut off because there was very little transport, very little exposure. These days, every rural community knows what is happening in the urban community. The other way to define an urban community is the high density of population. Okay, but at the same time, you cannot say that villages are not densely populated, because there are some villages where a lot of people live in close by places. Okay, but just because they are living close by, we cannot call those villages as urban community. Okay, so we cannot define urban and village community based on the population density. Urban people, if you see people in cities, they have polished manner, that is, you can say they have superficial politeness. They are not really polite, but they say hello to everybody and they meet people, they shake hands. Whereas in villages, they may not have a polished manner, but they do not have superficial politeness, it is real politeness. Same way, the city is a place where population is concentrated, and it is mainly because of the social organization, that is, people live in a particular way in the city. And let us see how the village community is growing. In ancient days, people, you would have studied in history that people did not live in a single place. They were nomads, that means they moved from place to place, and when they found a good place to settle, then they settled down. So slowly, where the places which had water, which had good soil, those were the places that villages were started. And when villages were started, more people started coming to that place, and some villages slowly became so big that it became a urban community. Okay, so that is how people who were nomads started living in village communities, and some village communities slowly became urban communities. For example, Chennai was probably a village in the 17th century, but slowly it has become a city. Vellore was a village many years back, now it is a city. So like that, more and more urban communities are forming from village communities. So let us see what are the factors that are responsible for the growth of a village community. How does a village community grow? The first thing is the topographical factors, or the area. I already told you, village starts where the land is good, soil is fertile, there is water, and the climate is good. Okay, so people start farming in those kind of areas, and slowly more and more people come and it becomes a village. The next thing is the economic factors. Economic factors means the amount of money that you can earn. When can you earn money? When the soil is good. Most of the villages are farmers, so they stay in places where land is fertile, and that helps them to earn more money, and that is the economic factors. Next thing is the social factors. Once people move into a particular village, if there is a lot of fighting, then they will move away from that village, because people like to have peace. So the place which has more peace will become more prosperous, will grow. If there is a lot of fighting and bad people living in that village, the population will slowly come down and the village will not be present anymore. The next thing is the ecological factors. There are other factors like the population. What are the other occupations other than farming? Is there any other business that the people can do? Is the soil good enough to make bricks? Can the people do fishing if there is a pond? So all those things. So other occupations. The distance from the town. Near Chennai there are a lot more villages than villages near Vellore. That is because if you are living close to a big city, then people like to work in the city and stay in the village. So these are the factors that are responsible for the growth of a village community. So let us see what are the features of village community. That means what are the features of the people who live there and how they live. The first thing that people in a village have is community consciousness. That means they share their sorrows and joys. In a city, it is very difficult for people to meet, especially in Chennai. If you live in a multi-story building, then people work, they come, open the door, go inside, and they do not even know the name of the person living in the next house. This we have heard from young age in school itself. We know village people share each other's sorrows and joys. They are close to each other and they have a lot of unity. So this is the one of the major features of village community. Okay, mainly because the people who live in a village have customs and cultures which are common to each other, whereas in a city people are from different villages, their customs are not same, it is different. Then the next feature of village community is the role of neighborhood. That means who lives close to each other. People have peaceful life, they are more sincere and hardworking and have good morals. That is, they are not having negative thoughts. And even though there are not many laws in the village, they all abide by the whatever the village head says. Okay. Then the next feature of village community is the joint family. In city, most people live in nuclear families, that is the husband, wife and child, that's all. Whereas in a village, people have joint families, mainly because if in case they do agriculture, it is useful if a large family lives together so that they can work in the fields just with their family members. Then in village, if you see, the religious people are much more and the faith in the religion is much more. If you stay in a city, slowly people are caught up in the day-to-day activities, they do not have time for God, whereas village people have more faith, they have deep faith and they believe in God much more. And most of the agricultural activities are related to worshipping and then starting. Village people are also very simple, they eat a simple life, they live a simple life, they do not have fancy cars, they do not have branded shirts, branded shoes, they live a normal life. Okay, and their houses are also usually made of mud and brick walls and there are no fancy decorations in the house. So they live a simple life, but at the same time there is a lot more peace and happiness in the village. And we can also say that the village community is usually isolated and self-sufficient. These days it is changed a little, but those days villages were isolated and self-sufficient. They did not go out of the village for anything because everything they wanted was available in the village. But these days people work in the city and bring things from the city, so we cannot say that they are isolated, but most of the villages are self-sufficient. Finally, poverty and illiteracy can be present to a little extent in villages. It is also present in urban communities, but in a village community, people have very less income compared to city people. That is why we can say they are generally poor compared to the people who live in cities. And mostly villages do not have good schools and few people only know the value of education. So a lot of people in the villages are illiterate. This also is slowly changing over the years, and those days there were more poor people and illiterate people, whereas now it is decreasing because everybody knows the value of education and people have also started working in the city but they live in the village. So these are the features of the village community. The other important fact about the village community is the local self-government. I already told you that the village headman is there and he makes the rules. So just like in the ancient days, the villages manage their own affairs. You would have seen in movies saying that they do not want to go to the police because whatever mistakes people do in the village, they have a system of punishment. So they have a small local government. Okay, but with all these benefits, why is there growth of urban community? Let us see why urban community is growing. I already told you in this video that the urban village community slowly becomes a urban community. I told you Chennai was in 17th century a small village probably. Vellore, I know in 1970s, from our house we could see the railway station. Now we can't even see the next street because it has grown so much. So from a village, slowly when more and more people come and settle, it becomes a urban community. In Vellore, for example, CMC hospital was there for several years. So more people came to work here, more patients came here, they settled down here. So CMC was one of the reasons why Vellore grew into a big city. Same way for Chennai, it was a port. So the people settled there because trade was happening. People could send things to other countries through ships from Chennai. So that was one of the reasons for Chennai to grow. So like that, every village community slowly becomes an urban community if the right conditions are available, and slowly it becomes so big that there is no difference between the rural and urban communities. Okay, and we can say that the next topic, rural and urban continuum, means that a rural community becomes an urban community in a slow and gradual manner. It is not something which happens suddenly. You cannot say one day it was a village, the next day it became a city. So there is slow gradual change from a rural community into a urban community, and there is no geographical boundary also, because slowly it keeps expanding. Chennai initially, you can say the center part of Chennai was the urban area. Slowly, as it became bigger, more and more villages became urban. So Chennai is now become a huge city. So that is why you can never say where the city starts and where the city ends, and where the village starts and where the village ends, because they are all together and very similar. There is no clear cut boundary between the two communities. Okay, so let us see what urban community is. Urban community or a city community is also called as the civilized society. These are terms which you can use, or it can be asked in the question. These places have local authority like municipality and containment board. Just like the village had panchayat, the cities have municipality, or now these days we call it the corporation. Okay, and usually the government has a rule that if the population is more than a particular number, this 5,000 is very old, it's not true at present, so you can leave that. A huge population and more of them are not working in agricultural work. In Chennai, if you see how many people are working in agriculture, very few people, because the city there is no land itself for growing crops. So these are the reasons why it is called as urban population. And there is a large population and dense population. That means the number of people is very huge and they live very close to each other. For example, within 1 square kilometer there are thousands of people in Chennai, whereas in a village 1 square kilometer there are hardly hundreds of people. So that is the difference between urban and village community. And we can say socially heterogeneous individuals live in urban community. That means they do not have any relationship. They are from different cultures, different societies. So that is the urban community. Let us see the features of urban community. You have already written about the urban community in your record notes. So anyway, I'll go through it. Namelessness. That means you may speak with so many different people, but you don't even know their name. So that is the first feature of urban community. I've already told you that you may live next to another person and for many years, and still you won't know the person's name and they won't know your name. That is namelessness. Next is homelessness. In village, you will see very few people living on the platform. When city, lot of people live on the platform. Very few few people who have good houses live in the houses, but most of the people who do not have houses, they live in the streets. The main reason for this is because the cost of living is very high. The cost of house rent or buying is very high in a city. So that is why it's called homelessness. This is a feature of urban community. Then class extremes. We already talked about village, that people are similar. Most of them are poor and nobody is very rich. Whereas in a city, some people are extremely rich. They have Benz cars and all those fine hi-fi cars, and they live in a huge building. Whereas other people can be extremely poor. They may be begging in the street. So there are extremes of classes in the city. Then the other feature of urban community is the social heterogeneity. We already told they are culturally different, their occupations are very different, and the personality traits are very different. So each person has their own occupation, their own culture, their own personalities, and there is no unity in that way. Then the social distance, because of the heterogeneity and because of namelessness, homelessness, and all these factors, there is a social distance maintained. These days we tell, because of coronavirus, social distancing is very important. But city people, in their heart, they were all already having social distance. They were not very close to each other. But now we want physically social distance. That is, we want 2 meters distance between two people because of coronavirus. In the early days, even though people were sitting next to each other, they had social distance because they were not talking with each other. Okay, that way it was called social distance. Then the other factor is energy and speed. Okay, people walk very fast in a city. They always seem to be working. If you go and look out of your window in a city, the whole night big roads will have traffic going up and down. That means people are working the whole night, and they feel that if they work, they earn more, and the more they earn, they have a better life. So the energy and speed in a city is very high. So these are the features of a urban community. So the next community is the regional community. Let's see what is the regional community. It is a large area where there are many similarities among the population. So people who live in a regional community have similarities. Okay, and they have a specific pattern of life. So most of them have same kind of pattern. Okay, and you can say that a region, for example, South India is a region. So what are the similarities among the people of South India? All of us are Dravidians. Okay, all of us have similar language. So that is a region. So I am just giving an example so that you will understand better. A region can have cities as well as villages. That is, rural and urban communities can be part of a regional community. Okay, so Tamil Nadu can be a region, South India can be a region, or one district can be a region. So like that, based on various factors, one particular region is demarcated and it is called as a regional community. And here the people have similar language, similar culture. For example, all the people in Tamil Nadu have Tamil as the language, and people in Kerala have Malayalam as their language. So like that, each region has particular cultures, particular language, and is present in a particular geographic area. For example, in India, southern region, I already told you about this. The South India is the southern region. We can also divide India into central region, western region, northern region, northeast region, and each region will have sub-regions. For example, the southern region, south area of India, can be further divided into Andhra region, Telangana region, Kannada region, Malayalam region or Kerala region, and Tamil Nadu region. So this is the region. So in Tamil Nadu there are many cities and many villages. So rural and urban communities can become part of the regional community. There are some benefits of the regional community. The first thing is the major thing is that it promotes national disintegration. Okay, integration means unity. Okay, and disintegration means breaking away. So the fact is that it though it breaks the it breaks the national integration, people of a particular area feel more united. For example, Tamil people are more united, all Malayalis or Kerala people are more united. So they have their regional unity, but the problem is national level there is disunity. So people of North India feel, oh, all the people are Madrasis or South Indians. So there is disunity at a national level, but at a regional level there is much more unity. One problem that happens because of regions is large states with bigger population will have problems. For example, Vellore was a large district and it had only one collector, one big hospital. So people living in places like Tirupattur, Ambur, and Arakonam had to come to Vellore because Vellore was the district headquarters. Now it has been divided so that it will be easy for the administration. So they have divided Vellore district into Tirupattur district, Vellore district, and Ranipet district. So now there are 3 districts and each will have their own hospital, each will have its own collector, so it is easier for administration to manage the district. So there are benefits as well as disadvantages of regions. Another problem because of the regions is it reduces the economic progress of the nation. For example, because Tamil people feel my state should become better, Karnataka people say my state should become better. So each group of people pull in a different way. So the nation as a whole suffers. For example, instead of sharing the water of Kaveri river, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka always are fighting. Same way Kerala and Tamil Nadu are fighting with Mullai Periyar Dam. Same way lot of other states fight with each other because of such issues, and the main reason is because they feel their region should become better, their region should have more benefits. So this causes economic progress of the whole country to be less because of this infighting. Okay, so you understood about the urban community, rural community, features of each of these communities, and the regional community. Okay, so let us see the conclusion. The mark of a community is that one's life may be wholly lived within it. So a lot of people are from a particular community, they live in the same community till they die. Okay, very few people travel outside their own communities, and each community can have other organizations. We will see what are the organizations, primary organizations, secondary organizations, which is also part of your syllabus. It could be a temple, it could be a church, it could be a business organization, it could be a college. So all these organizations are part of the community, and because of this community there is social relationship between people. And we already saw how urban community can be more complex politically, socially, economically, and a village community can be less complex. But at the same time, every single person depends on other people in the community. Each community depends on each other. Each community depends on the region, and the region depends on the country. Everybody are interdependent. So man is a social animal. Nobody can exist alone. No village, no community can live alone. Okay, so already we have seen the differences between village and urban communities. Let us once more go into some other differences. The main differences are that village life, people are little more isolated than city life. Okay, from the city. So village people live together, they have their own customs, they have their own culture, whereas urban people, they do not have a uniform culture because the people are from different areas and they have settled in the city. So the urban people have a different kind of relationship, whereas village people, though they live separately as a village, within their own village, they have unity in terms of culture and religion and other things. The second one is the difference in the mode of occupation. In a village, most of the people are mainly farmers. They may also have other occupations like cattle rearing or fishing, but other than this they have very few occupations, whereas in the city or urban community, the mode of occupation is very different. The people work in banks, they work in schools, they work in colleges, they work in hospitals. So the urban community has a lot more diverse occupations. The next thing is simplicity versus complexity. A village life is very simple because they are simple people having very less needs, whereas city people, we already saw, they have energy and the speed, so they feel that they have to work more to earn more to live a happy life. So city life is more complex. The next thing is associative individualism versus persistent traditionalism. Okay, the urban community can be told to be associative individualism, that is, they have their own associations, that is, people living in a city are meeting other people, but still they maintain their individual behavior, whereas in a village the traditional life is more persistent, that is, the traditional people and their traditional culture, it persists. That is why village community has more persistent traditionalism. The other differences are that the intensity of community sentiment in city and country are different. Okay, in a city nobody feels we are all together. Okay, because they do not even meet each other, they don't even know their names. There is more of homelessness and namelessness in the city, so they are not united in a way that village people are united. Okay, in movies you would have seen that people of all the similar village, they'll all rush together to help each other. They feel that they are united and they depend on each other. So that way the village community is more united and they have intense feeling for each other. The final difference between a village community and the city community is that the relationships is in urban area is more unbalanced and handicapped. Okay, whereas the country or village community, people they may have different demands, but they are united together, and